pull up Jen's video. And then at the very end, she does have something for you guys to see. So I'll pull the slides up one more time before we go. But for now, we're just going to get her video going. And then guys, I will monitor the Q&A as Jen is doing her section here. And then we have some time allocated at the end to ask her some questions about follow-up. All right, my dear, the time is yours.
All right. My name is Jennifer Brand. I have been with Scentsy 5 years this month. And I cannot believe it's been 5 years. It's already been 5 years. I do work full time. I also homeschool full time my youngest, who is 14. And I work my business as far as I, can say full time. So simplicity is really a huge, important part of my business because I'm just as busy as anybody else. So I try to find the most simple way to do things consistently. And what I'm going to share with you today is things that I feel are very simple, and I feel like you guys can duplicate them and do it for yourself. I usually get from, I wasn't always high PRVR, but I usually range between 6,000 and almost 10,000 in PRV a month. And it's because of my follow-ups. It's because of the relationships that I have built with my customers from always being there. So what I'm about to share, it works. It does work because I'm proof of it. I have returning customers and they seem to love me, and I'm going to give you all the tidbits. Follow-ups. It is crucial to your business. That is what is going to determine your long-term success with this company. If you are not doing the follow-ups, you are doing yourself a disservice. It really, truly is all in the follow-ups and those connections. We in Scentsy, we are a consumable direct sales, and that is so like everything. We have oils, waxes, pods. People need to refill. And if you are not following up with these customers and you're not going and getting them, they're just going to get it somewhere else. Because of the fact that we're all so busy and we look for the easy way to do things. Like if, for example, say someone is at the store and they're in a hurry, they're getting stuff for dinner, they see a display of wax or oils, they're going to grab it. They know that Scentsy is amazing. They know that they rather have Scentsy. There's no one that compares, but it's easy. What are they going to do? They're just going to toss it in their cart because that was the easy way to go. Because you didn't follow up, they may have to do those types of shortcuts. So keep that in mind. Because I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of doing, not now because I have all the Scentsy that my heart can desire, but before I was in this business, I was like that. I'd be like, oh, it'll be fine. This wax will get me until I place that order, because you have to put the effort and time into reaching out and placing that order. When if I would have had a consultant who would have reached out to me and said, hey, are you ready for a refill? I could have just did it right there. So keep that in mind. They do it because it's easy. Studies show, if you see me looking down, I have some notes. So studies do show, we heard this during SFR, I think it was this year, or it might've been last year. I just happened to have it in my notes, but 75 to 80% of people will reorder within 7 days of receiving their initial order. Think about that. So while we are following up with them, we are setting ourselves up for success. Like, how many times have you guys ordered something online, and a shirt or something, like, oh, I like the way this fits, and you turn around and order again? It's the same concept. You need to make sure that you are reaching out to them especially in the first several days of them placing their orders or them receiving their orders. So that way you can make a great impression and you are making that connection. If 80% of the people who ordered from you reordered that month, what would your business look like? That, my friends, is why my PRV is super high. That is why it continues to grow and to grow to where my solid customer base is getting bigger and bigger, because they're coming back. I'm following up with them. I'm getting their refills for them. I'm making their life easy so they don't have to worry about coming back and in Scentsy Club, but that's a whole other ballgame. I have tried personally so many different systems. I have gone as far as writing my orders down. I have did the binder method, and I kind of do mix and match of some things. And I also use the boards app. I will talk about that at the very end because that is a big part of my business. But I have tried so many things, and I don't want you guys to get wrapped up in thinking that you have to do it a certain way. I'm hoping that different pieces of what I'm doing right now, you'll be like, oh, I can do that, because I promise you, I am all about simplicity. I need it because I am just as busy as you are. Full-time work, homeschooling full-time. I do my Scentsy full-time. I work it just like a business. So I am truly just as busy. And with such high PRV, guess what? Comes a lot of extra work of getting those orders together and doing mail outs and doing thank yous and everything. So what do I mean by follow-up? I am simply saying that we are connecting with our customers who have placed an order. Follow-ups do not have to bog you down. You don't have to. I have felt at times that I am drowning in follow-ups and that I'm so behind, but it doesn't have to be that way. So what I started doing is, my first thing is that as soon as I get an order from my customer, I am automatically sending them, if I'm a personal friend of them, if I know them, I'm going to either text them or message them on Messenger and thank them. I'm going to authentically thank them for their order, because I want them to know that I'm very grateful. And that's one thing that my customers know about me, is I'm truly grateful for their support. I make it known. They can tell by the way I'm always there. Thank you. If I do not know them, then I'm going to send them an email. I'm not going to text someone that I don't know until I build that connection with them, until I know that our relationship is at the point where I can start texting them, because there's a fine line with me between texting someone and emailing them, but I'm going to reach out to them. First thing I'm going to do as soon as I get that order, and Scentsy makes it so nice for us because they send us an email, and I leave those emails I leave them unread until I have time to send them a message, and then I click on it and then I send them the email. I have templates of what I send people in my boards app. That's why, I can do this when I'm heading to the store, or if I'm on break at work, I can right away send them something, and all I'm doing is thanking them. I'm not trying to get them to buy anything else. I'm just thanking them. I want to tell you a quick little story of why it is that I started doing this. Well, for one, I am truly grateful, but I had a friend who would buy from me, and she ended up starting to buy from someone else because her husband was friends of someone who was up in another state, and he wanted to support his friend. So he asked his wife to buy from her. Well, long story short, over the summer, I ended up bumping into her, and she placed another order with me, and she says, you know what? I'm going to order from you from now on, and I have to confess to you something. She said, I started buying from this person because my husband wanted me to, and that I placed pretty good orders, and not one time did someone ever reach out to her and say thank you. She even said, I wasn't looking for any handouts, any gifts, or any goodies. Just knowing that you received my order she says it just kind of set wrong with her. So I gained a loyal customer forever and ever. Amen. And she's brought her friends and family because I show how grateful I am. Number two, Scentsy again sends us an email that lets us know when their order ships. They also receive one. But us as consultants need to take it another step. And what I personally do is I will go in and see and click on their tracking. And if it says that their order is going to be shipped and they're going to receive it by Thursday, I'm going to send them another message like, hey, Susie, I just wanted to let you know, I noticed your order shipped. I'm super excited to hear what you think. That is it. It's not bogged down in all this information. I just want her to know I'm paying attention. I see that it's shipped and that I am truly excited to hear what she thinks. So number one, thank them as soon as you get that email. Number two, by some chance, they ship it right away within the same 24 hours that you would have done your new order, and thank them. Do it all in one. Say, thank you so much for this order. I cannot wait until you get your products, because I just noticed, since Scentsy is so awesome, they've already shipped it and you're supposed to get it on Friday. So there's different ways that you can tweak it. I do have verbiages on my boards app. I will share that with you at the very end. Number three, sending out thank yous. I'm not talking about, this is going to look different for everyone. I've done different things. I've done scent circles. But this is something that I do think is important because I'm really big on the Scentsy Club. And you guys, if you see me at SFR, you guys know that I'm a huge Scentsy Clubber and I try to glorify in all the angles. So this is my opportunity while they ordered. I usually do this on Mondays. I will send out thank yous and these little thank you packages. And I just did this yesterday, so this actually worked out great. Remember how I said that follow-ups don't have to bog you down? I used to write all these things down. I would write all of my orders down and I would write down all the samples and things that I would send out. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was just wasting my time because everything is already in the workstation. I have started just printing from, this is stamps.com. This is everyone who I sent a package to yesterday. I have a little tab because I'll put this in my binder. This has the date on when I need to follow up with them again to ask them about their package that they received. So I've already reached out to them that their order has shipped, right? I'm letting them know when it's going to be there. I have already sent a package in the mail. It can be a scent circle. It can be a card, a postcard. It doesn't even have to be anything, a scratch and sniff sticker. But my goal is to put new smells in their noses so they will come back for more. Okay. So I give myself 5 days grace. So I did this on Monday. And on Friday, I'm going to message all of these people and I'm going to ask them, did you receive did your order make it okay? Is everything okay with it? Did you have any issues? What's your most favorite things? Because I want my customers to be able to have the opportunity to tell me if something wasn't wonderful. I want them to have the best experience possible. So I'm a type of person, if I got a package and something wasn't what I expected, I may not speak up, and I don't want my customers to be that way. So I really try to give them the opportunity. Again, I had a customer that I followed up with last week. She received something from the clearance section. She really wasn't that satisfied with it. And if I would not have reached out to her, I may have lost a forever customer because, even though I couldn't exchange it the way she wanted me to, I was still able to give her a great experience. I apologized to her lots of times. I tried to do right by her. And she said, even though she's not going to keep it and she's going to re-gift it because it just didn't fit what she wanted, her experience was still amazing because of me being genuinely worried and concerned and wanting her to have a great experience. She said she did. So doing that follow-up and asking about the product really is important because you want them to be completely satisfied. So in that 5 days when I ship their package out, I am asking about their order that they should have been receiving. And I'm asking them about the samples. Hey, did you get your extra goodie package as well? I'm dying to know what your favorite scent was. So what I did was I sent out bricks. I sent out brick samples because I don't sell a lot of bricks unless they smell them. So I sent that out. And now I'm hoping when I follow up with these guys on Friday, I'm going to be like, well, if they say I love them all, I'll be like, well, great. What 2 can I order for you so I can get them that bundle? That is my plan. I will print this from stamps.com. I put it down. I have older ones. Guys, that is important because before I save these, because I think it's kind of funny to look how far I've come. These are old follow-up papers. This is a mess. This is not what you want. You want something like this that you can refer back to. And I just print them right from, I use stamps.com, and you can actually screenshot your orders and do it that way. Okay, this is my favorite part that I have discovered more recent because we do not have Amy app anymore for those of you who used it and depended on it. But I like to follow up, like say with these people or anybody who's placed, well, everyone who places an order gets something. So it is these people. But you can actually use a feature in our workstation. A lot of people probably don't know about it. I know I need to be more open and talk about it more with my team as well, because this is something more that recent that I have dabbled in, and it's actually working great for me. So I am going to share it with them. But I like to follow up 2 months. 2 months after their last order, because by then their cleaner's running out, their 6-pack surely is gone by then. I'm not bugging them so much because I know that is one thing that we are worried about is when to reach out to someone. I love to reach out from 2 months, 2 months from the last time they ordered. If you go into your reporting tab and you click on reorder, then when you pull that up, it's actually going to show you, you can set it for 2 months, 3 months, but you can see everyone who hasn't ordered in the last 3 months. You don't have to write all this stuff down and do all the busy work that we don't have time for, because my busy self can be homeschooling my son during this time. I was finding myself feeling so overwhelmed and bogged down with trying to catch up, writing everybody's name that ordered, because as you are consistent in your business, your follow-ups, your orders, they're going to grow. And I was having page upon page upon page of trying to figure out who's who, what they ordered, why, when it's all right there in your workstation. Scentsy has it right there for us. All you have to do, again, go to your reorder tab, click it, and then you can change the date of the last, like say you wanted to check on who hasn't ordered in the last 60 days, you can change that. And it will show you what they purchased. It'll show you exactly from the moment that you're looking, how many, it'll say 2 months and 17 days. And then that way I can go to my boards app, and as I'm emailing everyone, I can send them an email. Hey, it's been about 2 months. Are you sure? Like, surely your cleaner is used up by now. You want to order some more? Like, you're able to see exactly what it was that they purchased and mention it. So that way you don't have to keep track on paper. I had too many papers going on in my binder. I do feel it's necessary to have stuff written down. I do write down pre-orders. Hey there, Max. I do write down pre-orders, and I do track my scent bags. I do monthly bags. So those are the types of things that I do track. I did not create this. I have a lovely lady. She's amazing at Canva, and I'm sharing this at the very end. Megan Glover, she is our Canva queen. And I'm going to share her to all these papers that I use. There's some extra that I don't use, but these are for you. So that way you can duplicate this for yourself, because this stuff does work. Let me shut this door that my dog opened. Hold on a minute. Okay, next. Goodness, dogs. So it doesn't matter how you choose to do your follow-ups. It's just really important that you do it. Follow-ups is going to look different for everyone. I just like to be able to use the tools that are given to us. And if, as soon as I see you got a new order, I send them that message right away. It's done. I can delete it. It is over. Soon as I see something has shipped, same thing. I can go in there. I have a template for that. Of course, you're going to change the wording up a little bit each time, but the point is that you're doing it and you're never behind. Mondays are a great day for me. I work Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays at the hospital. I do 12-hour shifts. So Sundays I have a day to regroup, and Mondays are a great day for me to do samples and just send out my packages. So that way on Friday I can turn around and do my follow-ups. Just remember, do not get wrapped up in the busy work. A lot of us I've done it, I'm guilty. We get so wrapped up into doing all the things that we don't need to do. I am really firmly a believer of simplicity, and this seems to work great for me. The fact that you can just print, I use stamps.com. So I print everything. And then when I message these people, I'm just going to highlight them. I know it's done. If they reorder from my follow-up, I'll write reordered. So that way I can see what happened. Follow-ups should be two things. And by doing great follow-ups, you are going to be building the connections and the relationships with your customers, which is huge to your business. Because the more that you are creating that relationship, they're going to become loyal. And when they become loyal, and you guys, some of my best friends have been because of this business, because of me following up with them, because of me talking to them. It's not always about Scentsy. I build that relationship with them. And the other thing is more PRV down the road. Those are the two follow-ups should be. More PRV and creating those relationships. Customers tell me that they come to me because they know I truly care. And I get told all the time when I'm following up with someone that I'm just truly the best consultant. I try to be the best that I can be. I want them to think of me as just being a good human, because if you make them feel that way, they will be good back to you. They will bring your family and friends. I get people to tag me over anybody else when it comes to, hey, someone making a post. Does anybody know of a Scentsy consultant in the area, blah, blah, blah. Like, I get tagged all the time. Referrals are huge. When you are taking and you're treating your customers like gold and you are connecting with them, they will do that back for you. Don't be the type of person who takes the order and then runs with it. Let them know that you care. Let them know that they're changing your life, because I share everything. All right, boards. I'm going to go backtrack. This is where, Sarah, if you want to share that little picture that I sent you, there's 2 QR codes here for you guys to scan with your phone, okay? If you, by some chance, are on your phone and you can't scan it, screenshot it, so then that way you can get the barcode. But the top one is for my boards. I was sharing a special one with people and I tend to forget to update it. So I'm flat out sharing with you my team board. I share this with everyone now. This is what I use for my team. You'll find verbiages in there. There's folders. I have it very easy on the eyes for anyone to be able to understand. If you are not sure how to use boards, it is super easy, but I do have that group for you guys. It's called Making Sense of Boards. This is how I onboard customers. This is how I do trainings and save trainings too. You're going to have access to all of it. But the most important part for this training is my verbiages for customer communication. And that's what it's called. If you scan the top one, there is a folder that says customer communications. These are all the templates that I use. Now I do change them up from time to time of what I say. And I know a lot of you guys struggle with verbiages, so I make it super easy. The bottom one is for the pages. This is, again, courteous of Miss Megan Glover. She is our Canva queen. She just has very pretty, she has pretty flyers. So all of these sheets, everything that I use is in that on Canva. You can go in and edit it for yourself and make them for you. I've had to do that for a couple of them. I don't use all of them. I don't use the ones for customer orders and stuff anymore because I've just started printing it from the workstation. So wrapping this up, just know that you basically get back what you give. And if you are giving great customer service, you're going to get that back from them 100%. They are going to continue shopping with you over and over. My customers always come back and shop again. So I hope this helps. I hope this helps. Does anybody have any questions?
Oh my goodness sakes, Jen, that was phenomenal. I don't know why you were so nervous, my dear. That was top notch.
Thank you.
Honestly, I kept track of a couple questions that people had as we were going. But before we do that, I promised I would share the screen for the reporting because I think you blew some minds today on that reporting section. So guys, I'm going to show you this really quickly here. So you'll want to go into your workstation. From there, you'll click on the reporting button here, and then you're going to select sales reports. Okay, so here's your little breadcrumb back there. But once you open up this sales report section, you have lots of options from which to choose. So you have a customer purchase history. There's that reorder report that Jen talked about, product history, promotions follow-up, and then you also have your business analysis report. Now, what Jen was talking about specifically is in this reorder section here. So you can search you can select the months since the last order, and assuming your customer records are complete, you're going to have a whole slew of when the last time they ordered. Okay, so you do have that option, so run that one. I wanted to show you also here on your product history. So when she was talking like with scent packs, you can also run a report on a product name. This is also really helpful anytime we have a transition with your discontinued list and you need to follow up on your certain fragrances, or maybe there's a scent of the month, or you want to find out who ordered bricks from you last year. So you can reach out to them now saying, hey, we have new bricks. You can search by SKU, you can search by product name, and then you also have the date. And then once you click search, it's going to take a little bit of time to generate that data, but you can export it to Excel, and then you can sort and filter to your heart's content. So guys, this reporting feature is phenomenal. If you have any questions about this, you can reach out to consultant support. You can also email us. Happy to show you how to do these things. There is a wealth of information at your fingertips here for your follow-up endeavors. Okay, so now let's head to the questions. The biggest one that I saw, I think we'll tie this in, what if too much time has passed, or what if you've never reached out before? What is your best recommendation here?
That is okay. So I feel this. When I was trying to write all the things down and just doing it the hard way, time passes and you don't even realize the next month, and it's okay to just start over. Dive in this month, look at what you have for this month, or even just start this week. Everything that starts from today and on, start it, because they've been buying from you. They're going to buy from you again, but I would just start as of today. Don't worry about what has already happened because it's already done. I would just start doing the best you can and making those connections as of now, because that's what I've done. I have literally just, oh gosh, I have all these papers here. I'm just start right now, and then you can just move forward.
Yeah, I heard a quote the other day. It was in my actually I read it. It was in my planner. It says it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to start. You just have to start. So that's excellent advice. What if as you're reaching out, you get crickets? Katie had that question. Do you just reach? Is it based on the verbiage you're using? You think maybe that's where the crickets are coming from, or they're just like, I'm not interested. I'm just not going to reply. How do you handle those situations?
A lot of people just get busy and they forget, but just don't forget about them. That's why we have the 2-month follow-up. I personally, when I've had other direct sales companies message me, I truly, they got me in the middle of homeschooling or something. I set it down and I completely forget. And that is normal. But that's why it's great if you send them thank you mail and you give them a reason to reach out to them. People will just not respond. Maybe it's not in their nature, but I do try to make it more personal. So if I'm doing I pull up my reports and I see they ordered a certain scent, maybe I'll mention it, or I'll be like, oh my gosh, you ordered my most favorite one. What did you think? That tends to get their attention and they'll reply. So I think as long as you don't sound like a robot, you will get people who reply.
Okay, perfect. And guys, check out that document I was talking about earlier with the weekly learning plan asset. That's going to post to the SFC, that Scentsy Family Consultant page, in about 5 to 7 minutes. So check that out as soon as this webinar is over. You can also just go into the workstation under training, and then in that search bar, type in follow up, and it's build relationships. But there's different resources out there. So like Jen was saying, whatever system you're using, just be consistent with it. So if a binder system works for you, we have a training in there on binder systems as well. If you're using these sheets and you're printing them off and using those on a weekly or a monthly basis, if you want to use the reporting feature in your workstation and export to Excel, and then keep a running folder and just do this like weekly or monthly, and then you have your record keeping right there. You can build out these Excel sheets if that's something. I know Kimberly Polita uses that, like with the Google Sheets. She actually has that built out. So she is tracking everything on there for orders, when she sends out samples, when she sends out thank you mail. So there's different ways that you can do your tracking. It's just really finding what's going to work for you, what your tendency is, which one you gravitate toward, and then just being consistent with it. And just starting, really. Let's see, what else did we have here? Oh, I know that you're a big fan of Scentsy Club and getting people in there. So if you've recommended, like within follow-up, and you're saying, hey, this is, you really love this fragrance, do you want to order more of it, or would you like to add it to club, or however you're having those conversations? But do you have a separate follow-up system for your clubbers or your PWS orders where you're not necessarily chasing that sale, but you still want to show your appreciation for them?
So I do. I actually, in those sheets, I have a Scentsy Club sheet, and it has everybody, like, I actually was just updating mine. It shows basically like the amounts. Again, this is Megan. She made this and I loved it. So this is what mine looks like. And it says this is everything from this month. It shows $30, $60, so you can kind of keep track. And I do send special goodies for them as well, because some of my customers will only purchase products within the club because they manipulate that for themselves each month. It's not always the same thing. It's just I have very savvy customers who want that extra 10%, and they'll get their cleaners or whatever that way. And everything that I send out has some type of like Scentsy Club. This is all of my boards. Has some type of something glorifying the club. Like if you love this, these bricks, make sure you add it. Or if you don't want a whole brick, but you love the smell, add the regular size to your club. So I do mention it, but a lot of times it's in the literature that I'm sending them. And it just takes repetitiveness to finally get them to catch on. Like I really have gone over the club so much with them that they're finally like, oh yeah, why didn't you tell me this? And I'm like, I did,
Yeah.
But I do. You'll find that in those sheets as well.
Okay, perfect. Jen, have you done fundraisers before? And do you have kind of implement with these new customers that you're getting from fundraisers and then having that follow-up system after? Like, thank you so much for ordering from the fundraiser. Happy to be your consultant from here on out.
Yes.
What does that look like for you?
So that's funny because when I was looking at my reports today, they showed up in my 2 months. I did one 2 months ago. Whenever I sent their thank you mail, theirs was much different. I did a lot of stickers and stuff since there were so many of them, but I sent them like this little card. It's like, you helped baby Wylan raise $435. And I've gotten repeat customers this way because they truly felt, I guess, maybe the heart behind it. And they do shop, and they are some of them who have not been repeats, but they are on my 2-month follow-up. So I will be following up with them soon to be like, hey, because I have gotten some new loyal customers, I think, from it. So I do them just the same.
Love it. Awesome. Sarah has a recommendation here for reaching out, catching up with people. She said it's make time for FaceTime. It's from an acronym of FACE. So I'll share that here. The F is friendly follow-up. The A is again and again. C is connective chain. And E, emotional gain. Loyalty and relationships are the goal. Thank you, Sarah. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Let's see, one last question. I know we're getting really close to the top of the hour, but this one, once you're entering all the information into your workstation, these reports are going to generate for you automatically for customer follow-up. But what are you doing for like your order forms? Do you do follow-up from order forms? How do you keep track of everything that way to even input the information in?
Everything is just in, I basically keep track of everything from this form right here, because every time someone orders from me, I'm printing what I've sent them, like as a thank you, even if it's an envelope. And this is how I know who I've like really like been in touch with, if that makes sense. I know when I run those reports, I guess I know who has ordered recently, and I know that I need to make sure that I'm following up with them. And I do it like at the beginning. I guess it's hard to explain, but I do it at the beginning of every month. Usually I do my 2-month checkup. And I guess because when I go back in and do the 2-month again, they're not going to show up in that report anymore, like, because I'll do it like 2 months out. But that's a good question. I don't have anything that I write down because I really don't have time to do all that. I kind of am good at eyeballing, knowing, okay, she did finally order, or I can skip over people. I know who has not for sure ordered. But that reporting tab, once you dabble in that a little bit, it is really nice. I really love how you can see exactly what it even is that they ordered last. So that way you can catch their attention on what you're following up with.
Perfect.
I hope that makes sense.
It does. Thank you. Guys, I had another question about the binder system. So I want to show you that really quickly while we're here. So this is the document you're going to look for in the workstation in the training section. You'll just type in customer follow-up and it should pop right up for you. And this talks about a 113. So this is 1 week, 1 month, 3 months after purchase. Or when they receive their order. We also use the 2-day, like the 222, the 2-day after receipt, 2 weeks, 2 months. So really, whether you're using 222 or 113, whatever that looks like, again, just figure out what's going to work best for you. But this will show you how to set up a binder. You can use this electronically or an actual binder system. Because if you're brand new and you're just, you have a handful of customers, handful of order forms, this might be a simple way to get started. But anyway, so you have these different tabs within your binder of to be ordered, the ones that are ordered, pending delivery. I'm going to follow up with them after 1 week. Here's my divider for 1 month. Here's my divider for 3 months. So you're consistently moving their order forms from one pocket to another, or one tab to another, if that makes sense. And then it just gives you different ways that you can reach out, whether that's phone call, email, social media, wherever you do your interactions with them the most, in person, postcards, texting. And then it has some conversation starters here if you're looking for some sort of template of what you're looking for. Okay, and then it does have that, just to change it if you want to use the 222. So different ways that you can get started if you're using a tracking sheet, if you're doing binders. I know Project Broadcast is helpful. People are using Trello, boards, all sorts of things. As a reminder, just find the one that works. Give them a try, see which one really just strikes your fancy and is going to work best for you. Guys, one last thing before we go is prizes. So thank you for being with us. I know we had a jam-packed call. We went right to the top of the hour. Thank you for being here. I hope this has been phenomenally helpful for you. I definitely took a ton of notes. Let's do a quick drum roll. We have a prize pack coming to you from the consultant store with some business supplies. Our winners today, randomly selected just by being here, Brenda Coble. Yay, Brenda. Denise Nuskern. Thank you, Denise, for being here. Larietta Delana. I hope I said your names correctly. And then, of course, Jen, our presenter, always gets a prize. Thank you so much for everything that you shared here today. This has been just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You have definitely changed so many businesses today. Thank you so very much for being here. Guys, little reminder, we have been recording. If you need the replay, the edited section with just Jen's portion will be added to your workstation by Thursday in that training event section. Like I said, remember you have the upcoming and then you have the previous ones. So you can find that on Thursday for Jen's section. If you want everything start to finish unedited from here to here, I can send you that link as soon as I get it back from Zoom. It's typically the same day. Later on this afternoon, I'll get that. So I can send that to you. The slides will also be included within the replay, and then also on the section of training, you'll be able to see that. So if you need that screenshot again, if you need the QR codes, this will be included with either the replay link or the post that goes on Workstation. Okay, if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Swalker@Scentsy.com, SWALKER@Scentsy.com, and I'm happy to get you that link as soon as I get it. All right, my dears, I will turn you loose. You have a fantastic day, fantastic week. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget, next week, we have that triple whammy. We have all three. We have Jerry Spry, Angie Dalton, and Julie Preston on for carve out time for your tasks, and maybe follow up as one of those tasks, and you need to figure out how to fit that into your daily, weekly, monthly plan. Jen, again, thank you so very much for being here. Give a big warm little scratch to your little your snuggly furry friend, and thank you so much for all that you do every single day. Guys, have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Bye.